after the war, the British government actually went down to the Caribbean and invited people to come to Britain to work because it said the mother country needs you. So they came in numbers, and they came expressively to ask young women to come up to train as nurses. And you've had a lot of young people came up to train as nurses to work in the cottage hospitals that were around the country then. And some went to the London Transport and things like that. So they really answered the call that Britain made. But when they came, some of them were treated, I wouldn't say badly, but they were treated half-handedly. You know, what are you doing here? And things like that. But the young people didn't mind it at all. They just buckled down and did what they had to do.
Them days, the training state had a job board outside. Vacancies did it. But if it's a classic technical job, you had no chance because we had no qualifications.
There were a few factories that aren't there anymore. I think High Duty Alloys was one of them, and then there was a foundry in Slough. It was difficult for a lot of educated people to get work that they were used to on the islands.
You could leave from here and go next door, get a job, and start tomorrow next door. That's what it was. That's when it was really the trading estate. All you can see is chimney smoking, a lot of noise. You go by, machine banging in shops, and so on. It was really and truly the place to work. I mean, people come from all over the place to Slough to work.
You can walk and you can look at the billboards. I used to have the signs, you know, up the side, and you could read on the line to say, well, engineer, whatever, non-skilled labor, you know, a machine operator and stuff like that. And you could walk, you go in the interview, and if you're suitable, you get a job. I mean, I never had no problem.
I got a job at, I was on the building site, and it's so cold, and I couldn't do it. And the foreman called me, and he said, there's a place over there. He said, look, I'm going to send you over there. You will work inside a factory. And he sent me over there to look for a job. Luckily, I get the job. And they asked me when I can start. I said, tomorrow.
You're working in factory by the week. Every Friday, you get, at whether dinner time or whatever, when you're going home, it all depends when they want to pay it, you get a pay packet. And the money would last from Friday to Friday, to Friday, if you're lucky.
Well, in those days, we used to work for about £4 something. But when we first started, it was only 3 shillings and 6 an hour.
Well, them days work, I would say, there was a lot of work about, but it also depends on the field that you're in. But work in the 60s wasn't too hard, more or less in Slough, because you got a factory used to be on Farnham Road they call Chicks. I mean, there's not a second person that come there didn't get a job there. You know, they used to make sweets.
Well, my first job was a friend of mine. He took me to his workplace. It was a foundry place called Two Casts. I cleaned the floor, toilets, and things like that.
Sweeping, removing this, helping to pack that, and so on. Anything anything that was non-skill, you know. But obviously, I know to be sure I'm not going to stay there. I'm going to move on.
Well, you had to pay the rent, so you wasn't really fussed about job to get a job. The idea was to get work.
Well, yeah, they'll hire you, but you know that you're not going to get the job that you would expect, because they're going to give the natives, the English people first. So that's how they used to do it. You know, we get the hard job to do. You see, and And that's it. But you're glad you have a job.
Remember, it was just after the war. So many people have died, you know, especially the men here had died, and people work in very bad circumstances. And in the factory, there was no health and safety. I remember when they come in Mars and start testing the noise business and said we have to wear the headphone and this and that. I said, how are we going to wear these things now when we already deaf? And I wouldn't wear it. I say I'm already deaf because the noise, you know. So, you know, very bad circumstances. And if you notice, most of our people, they just die with cancer because they've worked in asbestos, you know, along with other things. You know, when we came here, asbestos was in the houses that we were living in. All the doors were asbestos because they have to do it for fire purposes. Oh my God. But we didn't know these things. We're not coming from a place where we know things like that. And we were so glad just to earn some money. You understand? We didn't care.
At that time, they didn't look to say we were going to get some benefits from the benefits officers. No, they've not heard of among the Caribbean people who came here. They came here and they worked.